Welcome back to my channel, Celebes. Please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates.
The famous role of Donald Sutherland in a scary movie called Invasion of the Body Snatchers cost him everything. Donald Sutherland was born Donald McNichol Sutherland on July 17, 1935 in St. John, New Brunswick, Canada. From the very start of his life, Sutherland seemed like he was meant to follow a path that mixed being smart, curious, and artistic. Even though he grew up in the small Canadian town of Bridgewater, Nova Scotia, where his dad ran a gas and electric company, young Donald quickly showed he loved learning. As a kid, he fought several serious health problems, like rheumatic fever, hepatitis, and polio, which made him stay in bed for long times. These early struggles gave him a strong sense of never giving up and a love for life that would stay with him in both his personal thoughts and his way of acting. Before he found acting, Sutherland studied engineering and drama at the University of Toronto. He finally decided to fully follow the arts after realizing that telling stories and performing were what he really wanted to do. His journey took him to the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art, where he trained really hard, making his skills better and learning the discipline needed for a life on stage and screen. It was in Britain that he first found steady acting work, performing in TV dramas and stage shows. He slowly built up a reputation for his amazing screen presence, tall and thin body, and special voice, which would later become one of his biggest trademarks. Sutherland's career big break came in the late 1960s when he was cast in The Dirty Dozen, 1967, a World War II action movie that brought him fame around the world. His role, though not the main one, left a mark that would never be forgotten. And soon after, he became a star with his unforgettable performance as a funny Surgeon Hawkeye Pierce in Robert Altman's war comedy MASH, 1970. This role made Sutherland known as both a leading man and someone who takes risks, not afraid to challenge what's normal and bring complexity to characters that might otherwise be overlooked. The success of MASH shot him into a string of important roles in the 1970s, including Clute, 1971, alongside Jane Fonda, Don't Look Now, 1973, and Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1978. Each performance showed his ability to move smoothly between different types of movies, from scary thrillers to political dramas to horror, earning him a reputation as one of Hollywood's most dependable and brave actors. Unlike many other actors of his time, Sutherland never let himself be put into just one type of character. He welcomed variety in his roles, playing everything from heroic people to deeply flawed, sometimes evil men. His tall, commanding presence, paired with his gift for subtle emotional details, let him control the screen without taking over too much. This flexibility not only earned him praise from critics, but also kept a career going that lasted more than 60 years. He appeared in over 200 movies and TV shows, working with some of the greatest directors of his time, including Federico Fellini, Bernardo Bertolucci, Oliver Stone, and Robert Redford. As the years went on, Sutherland kept changing himself for new groups of audiences. In the 2000s and 2010s, he took on memorable roles in movies such as Coal Mountain, 2003, Pride and Prejudice 2005, where he played the gentle and wise Mr. Bennet, and perhaps most famously, the Hunger Games series 2012 to 2015, in which he played the cold and calculating President Snow. This role introduced him to a younger global audience, making his place as a cultural icon across multiple generations solid. Donald Sutherland's contributions to movies did not go unnoticed. Throughout his career, he received many awards and honors, including an Honorary Academy Award in 2017 for his extraordinary body of work, as well as Golden Globes, Emmys, and a Canadian Academy Award. Despite never being nominated for a competitive Oscar, he was universally recognized as one of the greatest actors of his time, an artist who made every project he touched better. His performances always carried depth, realness, and unpredictability, qualities that made him stand out in an industry often ruled by formula. Donald Sutherland's personal life has been marked by a series of well-known marriages, relationships, and family connections that show both his deep commitment to those he loved and the connected nature of his life with the world of movies and activism. Sutherland married 3 times over the course of his life. His first marriage to Lois May Hardwick, who was a respected head school teacher, began in 1959. This union represented the early phase of Sutherland's adult life, during a time when he was still making himself known as an actor in Canadian theater and TV. Although their marriage lasted 7 years, ending in 1966, it laid the foundation for Sutherland's later understanding of relationships and family, giving him insight into the responsibilities and compromises that come with partnership. Right after the end of his first marriage, Sutherland entered a second marriage in 1966 with Shirley Douglas, a talented Canadian actress and the daughter of Tommy Douglas, the famous Social Democratic former premier of Saskatchewan. This marriage not only connected Sutherland to a prominent political family, but also put him further into the world of socially conscious activism, an area that would influence both his career and personal outlook. Sutherland and Douglas had 2 children together, twins Kiefer and Rachel, born into a family already filled with both the performing arts and public service. Their twin children would eventually carry forward Sutherland's legacy, most notably Kiefer Sutherland, who became a well-known actor in his own right. The marriage, however, lasted only 4 years, ending in 1970 during a period of personal change and professional growth for Sutherland. During the early 1970s, Sutherland was involved in a well-known romantic relationship with actress Jane Fonda, his co-star in the movie Clute. Their relationship was typical of the era's mixing of Hollywood politics and activism, as both Sutherland and Fonda were actively participating in anti-Vietnam War protests and broader social movements. This connection showed Sutherland's willingness to mix his personal life with his ethical and political beliefs, showing a side of him deeply involved with the turbulent social currents of the time. Their affair, lasting from 1970 to 1972, was typical of Hollywood's complex romantic entanglements, but also highlighted Sutherland's involvement in public causes beyond the screen. In the 1990s, Sutherland married his long-term partner, Francine Rossett, a relationship that had its roots decades earlier when the couple met on the set of the Canadian pioneer drama Alien Thunder in the early 1970s. This marriage represented stability and lasting commitment after years of public relationships and professional demands. Together, Sutherland and Rossett had 3 sons, Rossif, Angus, and Reg, each of whom was named in honor of directors with whom Sutherland had worked throughout his career. Rossif was named after French director Frédéric Rossif, Reg after British director Nicholas Reg, and Angus' middle name honored American actor-director Robert Redford, showing Sutherland's deep respect for the artists and collaborators who shaped his movie journey. Similarly, his first son, Kiefer, was named after Warren Kiefer, the American-born director who, under the fake name Lorenzo Sabatini, directed Sutherland in his first feature film, the Italian low-budget horror Il Castello dei Morti Vivi, Castle of the Living Dead. Through these carefully chosen names, Sutherland not only honored the people who influenced his career, but also wove a professional legacy into the very identity of his family. Sutherland's marital and family history, therefore, is more than a timeline of relationships. It is a reflection of his mixing of personal life with professional passion, social activism, and artistic respect. From his early years with Lois May Hardwick to his partnership with Francine Rossett, Sutherland's life shows a rich mix of love, creativity, and connection to movie and political worlds that shaped him. The famous role of Donald Sutherland in Invasion of the Body Snatchers was not just a career-defining performance. It was a role that came at a shocking personal and professional cost. Sutherland's portrayal of Matthew Bennell, a doctor caught in the nightmarish unraveling of reality as alien pods replace human beings, showed his ability to convey growing tension, paranoia, and existential dread. His intense layered performance connected with audiences and critics alike, making him known as one of the most compelling actors of his generation. The role demanded a complete immersion into a world of fear and mistrust, which took a toll on Sutherland both emotionally and psychologically. Unlike lighter or more conventional roles, this character required Sutherland to maintain a near constant state of worry, which blurred the line between acting and living in terror for the time of filming. Professionally, the movie's futuristic horror theme and Sutherland's uncanny embodiment of the disquiet made him an instant standout, but it also typecast him in ways that proved limiting. Hollywood, often quick to pigeonhole actors after a breakout role, saw Sutherland as the face of intense, paranoid thrillers, a perception that clashed with his desire to explore diverse characters in comedies, dramas, and romances. Despite his later successes, the shadow of this famous role lingered, creating professional challenges that Sutherland would have to navigate carefully for years to come. He was praised for his chilling presence, yet directors often hesitated to cast him in roles that would stray from the tense, cerebral persona he had perfected in this movie. On a personal level, the intensity of the role had deep consequences. The grueling shooting schedule combined with the emotional strain of portraying someone constantly on edge drained Sutherland physically and mentally. Actors in such psychologically demanding roles often experience lingering effects, including heightened anxiety and difficulty detaching from their characters once filming wraps. For Sutherland, the haunting nature of Invasion of the Body Snatchers became a touchstone of his early career, one that brought him acclaim, but also a degree of personal sacrifice few could fully appreciate. Friends and colleagues have told stories of the actor's immersion in this unsettling world left him thoughtful and cautious, a side effect of living terror, so convincingly that it left traces beyond the screen. Culturally, Sutherland's work in this movie became famous, not only because of the story's science fiction horror elements, but because he captured the essence of Cold War-era paranoia, reflecting society's fears of conformity, loss of identity, and the invisible infiltration of familiar spaces. His performance went beyond simple genre acting. It became a symbol of existential anxiety that connected with audiences far beyond its initial release. The weight of embodying such a resonant, anxiety-laden figure contributed to the sense that the role cost him everything, as it was both the vehicle for his rise to fame and the source of subsequent personal and professional challenges that he would have to navigate throughout his life. Donald Sutherland's role in Invasion of the Body Snatchers was a double-edged sword. It established him as a master of tension and psychological realism. Yet, it also imposed a heavy burden. He gained recognition and movie immortality, but at the cost of personal comfort, emotional stability, and the freedom to be immediately recognized for his versatility. It remains one of the most powerful examples of how a single transformative performance can elevate an actor's career while simultaneously changing the trajectory of their life, leaving both triumph and toils that endure long after the cameras stop rolling. Donald Sutherland, the celebrated Canadian actor whose career spanned more than 6 decades and left an indelible mark on movies and television, passed away under hospice care at the University of Miami Hospital on June 20th, 2024. He was 88 years old at the time of his death. His passing was a result of complications related to chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, a long-term breathing condition that had affected his health for several years. Throughout his life, Sutherland had been known for his distinctive voice, commanding screen presence, and the remarkable versatility that allowed him to move effortlessly between genres, from intense dramas to dark comedies, thrillers, and science fiction classics. His death marked the end of an era for many fans and colleagues, as he was widely regarded as one of the most influential actors of his generation, leaving behind a legacy of famous performances that had shaped modern movies. Following the announcement of his passing, arrangements were made to honor Sutherland's life and career. A funeral service was held in Miami, bringing together family, friends, co-stars, and members of the movie community to pay tribute to his extraordinary contributions both on and off the screen. The service was reported to be a serious yet heartfelt gathering, reflecting on his achievements, his generosity as a mentor, and the warmth he shared with those who knew him personally. After the service, Sutherland's remains were cremated in accordance with the wishes of his family, providing a private and dignified conclusion to his life. Fans and admirers around the world mourned the loss of a man whose talent, charm, and dedication to the craft of acting had touched countless lives, ensuring that his legacy would continue to inspire future generations of actors and filmmakers.